Hey guys, I want to show you our house salad. Now our house salad is very, very flavorful. It's our most popular salad. People remark all the time that it's one of the best salads they've ever had. It's fairly complicated. There's a lot of little ingredients in it. We use top-of-the-line ingredients. They're perfectly balanced to give a great mixture of a little bit of crunch, salt, chewiness. We've got all different kinds of ingredients that are adding all different components to the salad and just bring it way up. We make it obviously in an in-house version and a to-go version. The big difference with the to-go version, of course, is that we don't mix the dressing into it. We simply put it into 2 little to-go ramekins, and that's how we serve that. Let's get started. I'll walk you through the ingredients as we go. So I'm starting with a portion here, and I've already weighed this out. A portion of romaine lettuce. This has been washed and spun dry. And then a portion of arugula. And I'm just going to toss these together real quick. And then I'm going to add our house dressing. Now, the dressing can have a tendency to congeal in the fridge when it sits overnight. So before you're ready for service, you want to take it out pretty early and let it sit out for about 45 minutes to an hour before service. Let it come up to a little bit warmer than the fridge temp, and it will loosen up. You also may want to shake it every once in a while. It can have a tendency to separate. It doesn't separate as much as the other dressing, but still you want to give it a shake. Now, you don't want to let it come all the way up to room temp. So at that point, it really just will run loose, and it won't be as good, and it will separate more. So you want to have one sort of in that mid-range temperature at all time. Once this dressing starts getting a little warmer, you want to take another one out of the fridge, let that come up to temp, and then this one can go back in if it's not used up completely. So you want to sort of have a rotation of these going at all times. Let's go ahead and let's add the dressing. Now I'm going to add about 2/3 of the dressing. 1/3 I'm going to hold back and add to the top of the salad. Doesn't take much dressing at all to coat the leaves. You want to make sure the leaves are good and coated. Goes out with dry leaves, it just won't be that flavorful. Now I'm using the same bowl I've been using now for a couple of hours. You have one bowl for your raspberry dressing for the spinach salad. You have one bowl for the house salad. Any salad you have a separate bowl for it. And you can use the bowl for a few hours before you have to swap it out and get a fresh, clean bowl. Let's go ahead and plate this. Obviously, when we're plating things, anytime you're plating any kind of salad, you're always looking to get that nice height. Look how nice and high that salad is. Wow. Okay, now we're going to add all of these different flavor ingredients. Now, obviously, I've gone ahead right now and I've weighed out exact proportions, so this is exactly the right proportions of every single ingredient. When you're doing it on the line, you know, it's a little more difficult to weigh out every single time. But you should practice occasionally. Even if you've been with us for a while, you should practice occasionally because you do have a tendency to drift. So one day you might pick up 15 grams of sun-dried tomato, the next 16, the next 17, the next 18. You know, you come back a few months later and you're putting in 25 grams of something and you don't even realize it. So test yourself occasionally. Look at the spec sheet. Pull out what you normally weigh by hand, weigh it and go, oh, wow, I thought that was 15 grams, which is what the recipe says, but it actually turns out it's 25. I've been weighing heavy. So you constantly want to check yourself by practicing. You can't substitute it. All right, now I'm going to take a sprig of oregano, and I'm just going to pull off the leaves. And I'm just going to sprinkle it on, and this adds an amazing aroma to the whole dish. Okay, now I have my capers. These capers are probably, if there's one secret to this salad, it's these capers. They're like little salt bombs that burst in your mouth. Now I'm going to add the mushrooms. Okay. Kalamata olives, which have been cut in half. See all the different colors? This is Parano cheese, which has been sliced and cut into these little squares. Okay. Just a few tomatoes. Try and spread those around. Those are adding the color. Then I have my Parmesan cheese. Now, normally we use finely grated Parmesan, but in this one we use crumbled Parmesan. And we'll show you in another prep video how that gets crumbled up. Finally, our last two ingredients are the sun-dried tomatoes and the basil leaves. And that's it. Add the final little bit of dressing. That little bit of dressing on top gives the customer an opportunity to get a mouthful of dressing rather than the coating. That adds another little flavor and texture component. And that's it. That's your house salad. Beautiful.